Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Angels Shield panel. I remain your moderator, Jen Sidwell, and I am so excited to be joined by the one and only Kat Burrell. Kat, how are you doing?
I'm awesome, Jen. I'm so great. Life is awesome. I'm up north with my family. Everything is
Oh,
magical.
that's
Making s'mores.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy to know that things
Oh,
are so
thank
wonderful for you.
thank
Yes.
you.
Well, as you know, we're here to talk about Earp, and especially the
Yeah,
character of Nicole Hot. And as you know, I like to go a little deep, so I hope you're ready to dive in
I'm
as we.
ready. I'm ready.
Okay, excellent. Here we go. All right. For the first time ever, we saw Nicole as someone dealing with some pretty severe trauma.
Mhm.
What was it like to get into that headspace? We know Waverly has Jolene, aka an outward manifestation of
Mhm.
depression, but Nicole's feelings are all very internal.
Yeah.
How did you prepare for those scenes, and what was it like to extinguish Nicole's light, even temporarily?
Um, I was really happy to get to explore that side of her because I think it was a really lovely color of her personality that we had not seen before. And I think it's watching TV and shows is so cathartic, and that's part of why we as humans seek out stories since like the beginning of time is to have a like, oh, me too. I feel that, I understand that, I must be human type of experience. And I think for Nicole, like you said it so well, very internal, which is hard as an actor because it, it's hard. You're trying always to make stuff active and make it come out. But I think the thing that I struggled with was feeling like I was the sour note in the scene.
Mm.
Because everyone, especially like I remember feeling it the first time in the chili cook-off, like everyone's so high, it's so ridiculous, such a fun scene, and Nicole is just like not in that headspace.
Right.
And so I always worried tonally if it would work out. Um, and just trusting Emily, I always trust the writing and that it will. But I read a lot actually on PTSD and symptoms and like people's stories, just stuff online that I could research. So I sort of read, and I think all the like little bits of things that I read kind of factored into the isolating experience. And then I did a lot of journaling of kind of just going through the months and what was going on in the town, and just making up a lot of world stuff that I could then use as her memories, just to help me flesh it out a little bit because it was a lot of missing time, that she had to fill in, and what it was like when Holt came on the scene, and what it felt like, what was the first time she felt the town turn on her, and what was it like trying to bring Rachel and keep Rachel safe, and what was it like at night, like turning off the light and seeing Waverly's photo beside her bed, and so like all these little moments that I tried to make up in my own head so I could have the memory of as the character, I guess.
You do a lot of world building with your characters when you sit down.
Mhm.
Is that something that you learned as a process in school, or is that something that's just always been a part of your acting process?
Mm. I think it was definitely like encouraged in my formal training for sure, but I also just like I'm such a visual, tactile person that I feel like for me it just really helps to close my eyes and sort of go through the visual of what that might have been like. Because then it feels a lot more real and not as cerebral to me, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah.
But I really do like if I can journal something out, if I have the time in my prep to journal through something, or like just write out a thought process
Mhm.
or an internal monologue or dialogue or just whatever's going on inside the head, I think is I find really helpful for me for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I would love to see you build up a character for D&D. I think that would be great, considering how,
Wow,
how
that would
much
be
how much effort
fun.
you put in. Yeah, that'd be
Totally.
great. That's the next
That
thing,
would be
right? Earp
great.
D&D. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So speaking of journeys, Winona and let me try it again. Winona and Nicole's relationship has evolved from animosity to best friends. Can you talk a bit about their journey and they are unlikely best friends, but best friends nonetheless. Is it just their shared love of Waverly that brings them together, or is it something more?
Oh, I think it's something more because you can have a shared love of your person and remain cordial and friendly, but there's like a very much a love of each other that I think they see in the other the quality they wish they had more of in themselves.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
as much as Nicole's like, Jesus Christ, Winona, like you're such a mess, she wishes she could let go like Winona does.
Mhm.
She wishes she admires that freedom and that spontaneity and that like heart on your sleeve. Nicole has heart on her sleeve, but it's a guarded, measured
Mhm.
heart, whereas Winona is like a reckless abandon, ask permission or ask forgiveness, not permission type of thing. And I think Nicole finds that exciting and inspiring. And I think we pick people in our lives because they have little elements of things we don't have and we want more of, especially in our most intimate relationships. We're filling in sometimes some of our gaps because they bring an essence of life that we just don't have access to. Um, and I think they've been bonded through going through. So I'm sorry, I have 3 mosquito bites
Oh no.
right here. I keep itching and they're driving me nuts.
Oh
So if you
no.
see me like pulling at my neck, I'm sorry. I just have these 3 giant bug bites.
Can
Um,
someone
I
get
think
calamine lotion, please?
I need afterbite. Um, I think also because Nicole and Winona have gone through such high stakes traumatic events together, there's like I don't want to say trauma bond, but there's like we've gone through some shit
Mhm.
bond. And
Mhm.
there's a deep sense of trust that's come out of that. And it's especially evident at the end of season 4 when we see Nicole go to rescue the townspeople, finally trusting that Winona's got Waverly. I think that's really like the pinnacle of that, of all those years of like, you got this. Okay, but you promise you've got this. And I think that those shared experiences have bonded them um so much.
It's kind of like a soldier's bond, right? But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a great way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and I've just been notified. There is a Bernie emote on tier 2 on Twitch. So if you subscribe to tier 2 on Twitch, you'll get a Bernie emote, and that proceeding will go to Bernie's choice of charity. What's Bernie's choice of charity, Kat?
Oh, Bernie's choice of charity. So right now we're supporting Coveted Canines.
Oh,
They're a dog rescue organization out of the GTA, out of Greater Toronto area, and they rehome street dogs, bring them up from other countries, and rehab them, rehome them, train them. I'm secretly hoping that we can one day get one, and
Bernie can have a sibling.
and a sibling, a doggy sibling. Um, Yes, so it would be thank you guys so much for doing that. That is just so wonderful, and yeah, we'll go to support Coveted Canines.
Oh, that's amazing. Fantastic. So everybody go do that right now. uh, so something that you and I have talked about a lot, and it's
Mhm.
just something that's very important to me, is Nicole's wardrobe.
Yeah.
But season 4 felt like Nicole finally found her style, and
Mhm.
it's a very
Sure.
queer style.
Yeah.
Was it fun to explore Nicole through fashion, and
Yeah.
how did you and the wardrobe team finally decide on the wedding suit?
I mean, the wedding suit, there was no other choices. Once we got it, it was like, yeah, that's it. And I think that was I really liked that suit. I don't know where that suit is. I gotta find it. It's like in some storage, something in a box. It's so tragic. But I thought that suit was beautiful,
Mhm.
and I remember talking to our costume designer Jen that she wanted something that would shimmer and sparkle. It was like a
Mhm.
veloury velvet kind of feel. And I just thought the color was like very Nicole's wearing a lot of purpley kind of
Mhm.
jewel tones throughout, and I thought the color was beautiful and warm and like very Nicole because it was like a
Yeah.
little bit red, but it was warm. It was loving. It was like like blood, like the heart. I don't know. It had that suit was so great. They nailed that suit. That was
Yeah.
never there was never I didn't try on anything else. But I'm so glad you picked up on the style because I feel like we've been working on Nicole's style right from the beginning. And every season I come with a like a Pinterest board of ideas of can we do more of this? Can we do more of that? And I think we've gotten closer and closer onto the same page. And season 4 was very much where I was really feeling like we had like landed on Nicole's. I agree with you, Nicole's
Yeah.
style. And it was really, important to me to get that, especially like, and I love that you picked up that it does feel like a very queer style, very like it felt like Nicole, whereas I don't know, it always felt like her, but there was a journey of it, and I do feel like we landed in the right zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so
Did you take influence from meeting fans at conventions and their kind of personal style?
oh, I'm sure not like consciously, but I'm sure subconsciously. I mean,
Mhm.
we've had so many amazing experiences with fans over these years. Like for sure, there's got to be a fan influence in there 100%. And like also, I think the army sort of aspect, especially because she was in more pedestrian clothes this year and
Yeah,
not in her uniform. I think that's also maybe why it's taken a little longer because like we don't see Nicole in street clothes that often. So
right.
there's just been like less opportunity for it to develop. Whereas this season, it was so much in like pedestrian and street clothes. So I think
Yeah.
that like it was a really good opportunity to, but it still had these elements of like army military inspired style. And yeah, I was super happy with all the ish. Yeah, she looked great. The clothes were
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yeah, I completely agree,
yeah,
wholeheartedly, 100%, yes. Well, sticking to, the impact on the queer fan community and things like that, Waverly and Nicole have provided a lot of firsts, for on TV for queer fans. There are a lot of parallels to traditionally heteronormative stories that Wayhot challenged. The stair scene, Nicole lifting Waverly during their first love scene, even presenting Nicole and Waverly as a united couple
yeah.
instead of finding conflict only with their relationship. What's the next step for queer rep on TV? What needs more focus and attention, in your opinion?
Oh man, Jen, that's a big question. It's a great question.
You know me, I like to swing for the fences.
Yeah, man, totally. I'm glad you do. Um, oh, in my opinion, what's the next step? Fuck, I have so many opinions.
We got a little
Um,
bit of time. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I got asked in an interview a few weeks ago, actually, like, what's the next story you'd like to see? And my answer is actually just more. I don't have like I want this story. I just want more stories because I think media, and I've said this from the very beginning, it's like when you bring these characters into your lives and into your living room, it opens up opportunity for conversation, for people to feel like they know these characters. It offers opportunity to like like destigmatize things that maybe there's people who are like I don't understand or I don't and fear and hate and negativity comes from fear and
Mhm.
comes from not understanding things and as soon as you bring these beautiful characters into your home and you laugh with them and you cry with them and you fall in love with them and you just realize like you said these like universal emotions that know no gender, there is no barrier, it's
Yes.
all love is the same.
Hmm. Love is
and
love.
and I yes, and if we I think so for me, like a big part of what I've really tried to focus the next chapter of some of my work on is trying to use the little bit of influence, I guess, or the notoriety that I've gained working on this type of work and continuing to try to push these types of the storytelling further to the best of my ability. And listen, like, I'm so fucking aware that like I don't have a fraction of the answers. I don't know. I don't have a fraction of the diverse queer experience. And I think it's so important that when we don't, we go and we find people and we bring them to the team who do. And we go like, tell me your story, tell me your journey, let me learn from you. And never be afraid to be like, oh, I don't have that experience. Can you tell me about that? And
Right.
I just think if we can
Yes.
keep doing that, um, we've got so far to go, but we've come like so far watching this journey in the last 5 years. And I know Winona Earp had something to do with that. Like, I know, and
Yes.
those everyone's like, we're these like self-deprecating Canadians that are like, oh, it's just a little whatever show. But no, it's not. Like, it made a massive impact. People were
Hmm.
really paying attention. It was a critically acclaimed, huge show. Lots of people in the industry use it as a touchstone. I know that they do. And I think it was just a perfect example of like, you know, uh, the power of just good stories, authentic, and like focusing on the human shared universal experience. And so I'm sorry, I'm sort of like talking around it, but it's not
No, it's
around it. It's
okay.
just like such a all
It's
encompassing.
big. It's
It's
big.
such a
Yeah.
big thing. And I
Yeah.
think for me, it's just more. And I'm trying so hard to use my voice and my little bit of sway or whatever. I don't even know. Like, to try and just encourage people to keep telling diverse queer stories, and not, that are with different characters and different life experiences. And if you don't have the experience, bring someone on the team who does.
And
Yeah.
we as fans are so incredibly grateful to you. I mean, and you really, Kat, you use your privilege in such a positive and uplifting way to help the community and to help others within the community rise up. And that's huge and that's wonderful. And that's exactly the best and most perfect thing that you can be using your privilege for. So thank
I'm
you so much for
trying
that.
my absolute best. I may not always do it perfectly. I'm like, listen, the other thing too is I'm not writing a novel. Like, it's not, this is a very, media and TV is like an incredibly team
Mhm.
sport.
Yeah.
So there's only so much I have control over.
Right.
Um, and I just am trying my best to be pushing the conversation and asking the questions. And like, I've learned so much from my experience on Winona Earp, my experience with the fans, that I'm trying to bring all that to the table and go, okay, like, what's next? Let's keep going. And it's especially like behind the scenes stuff, even as a writer or trying to move stories forward or pitching stuff. Like, I'm trying. I always promise you guys that I'm always trying my best, and I will never get it perfectly, and I will never be able to be all of the things or tell all of the stories, but in my like little bubble of what I can have influence on, it's always a top priority for me. And
And
I
that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And I know that during I believe it was the GLAD interview when you took the time to say, listen, I'm not going anywhere. I know that as a community, the fandom breathed a massive sigh of relief because I typically and we don't know what's happening with Winona Earp. I know that it's going to
Yeah,
continue in some form, right?
in
In
some
some
way, I think
form,
so
it's
too.
going to
Yeah.
continue on. But typically, when a project ends, actors move on, and that's totally makes sense because you put your full focus and your
Well, you
energy
do,
into
and
the
you
next
have to
thing.
go
Yeah,
on
and you
to
have
other
to.
jobs.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to.
you
So
have to be, yeah, it's still a
you
job at the
you
end of the
gotta
day.
pay those bills, pay the mortgage, right? You have to.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
but I know that just by saying, listen, I'm sticking around, in some capacity, that is a huge
I'm
sigh of
still
relief to the
trying, like,
fandom.
it will
Yeah.
always be one of my driving factors, always. And I don't know how you could have an experience like this and have it not be. I mean, let alone like my personal reasons, my own journey with people in my life, like there's all of that, but then there's like the bigger picture of the community too. And it's the only challenge for me is I put a lot of pressure on myself, so I try to find the balance of like, you can't do it all in one day, and
Right.
you're not going to do it perfectly, and there's going to be people who say mean things to you and disagree with you and don't like the way you're doing something, and like, you just got to be like, you cannot please everyone, and you
No.
just have to hold on to the beacon of, I know why I'm doing this, and I know why it's important, and I'm doing my best, the best
Absolutely.
that I can,
Yes.
for all of us, no matter what we're doing, right? Like, you just
Mhm.
have to check in with your heart and go, I know why I'm doing this, and I'm doing my best, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's
Mhm.
really hard for somebody who like wants to save everyone and do everything and make everything perfect and fun and happy all the time, but you just have to keep going.
Strive for grace, not perfection, right?
Yes, amen, amen,
Yes.
Jen. Yeah,
So speaking of looking to the future and continuing on your actor's journey, you've played a very romantic matinee idol hero type on Winona Earp, and
yeah,
now you're part of a coven of witchy women on The Good Witch.
yeah.
What's your dream role? What type of character would you love to play?
Oh gosh, so we were watching Bridesmaids last night because it's like classic. You put it on in the background, have a laugh.
Mhm.
I was like, man, I would love a career like Rose Byrne. Like I mean, not even at that I'm not talking like at that level. I'm just
Right.
talking like the diversity of those characters. I think she has an incredible career. I'm also a huge Emily Blunt fan. Like I love the diversity. They've played villains, they've played, like all across the board. I mean, it's no secret that I'm jonesing to play a villain. I just find them, I learned so much from watching Jan Arden and Michael Eklund and even Danny Kind, especially at the beginning with Bunny LaBlanc and Jean, who played Bolshar, like bring the humanness to it. And I was so inspired by that as an artist. And I loved playing with Eve, and I would love to do more of that. I think for me, that is really the dream. Like I would
Yeah.
love to play a villain on anything, something like something that I could play with it for a few episodes or a while or something. And then I'd love to start continuing to create. I have a really amazing writing partner, and we've been churning out concepts and pitching stuff, and like it takes so long to get anything made, but we're still trying, and I'd love to be on the other side of that. And oh, my assistant is back.
Oh, hey, cameo.
Hey,
Bernie
Daddy.
cameo.
um and so for me, that is a very big goal of it's always been a goal of um getting on the other side of the camera as well. But villains, especially because acting is, it's but it is like I can direct and I can write into the future. But acting, it is a bit of an age game,
Mhm.
and that's just the reality of the business to a certain extent. We're trying to change that, especially for female identifying people. It's just
Mhm.
like, oh, I could talk about that for like 18 hours, but we're trying. And I think I just love the darkness, especially because I'm such a, like, acting gives me permission to try things that I don't in my normal life, and
Yeah.
I love to explore the darkness. So
Somebody cast Cat as a villain, please. Make this
please,
dream come
someone,
true.
please. I
Okay, we have
know, maybe
time.
I just like, it's my face. It's too like round and squishy and like hallmarky looking. That's the
But
thing. I have
that's what
a
would
very
make
girl
you
neck look to my face. I need some darkness. I just need to get a little older, I think, and
yeah.
then I'll age into my villain. I don't know.
Just do, up the shading down the, just do
Right?
some
I
more.
love the
Yeah.
shading.
Yeah.
Working on it more. Yeah.
Jumping to fan questions from Twitter real quickly here. We've got a question from at Helen_Erper. How do you think Joy would get along with Nicole, Winona, Waverly, and company? And oh wait, today is Sunday. So and also, how about Zoe, since we meet her today?
Yeah. Okay. So I think, or sorry, Joy's got some darkness to her, which I really like, and she's definitely come in to the Good Witch Middleton place of like happiness with some baggage, and has been really, I think Nicole and her would identify with their lone wolfness, because they were both people who like went away from their family unit, or in Joy's case lost her mother and her father at a young age. And she, I think they would identify with that in each other. But I actually think Winona and Joy would get along very well,
Yeah.
because Joy's got a little bit of sass to her, and as much sass is permitted in Middleton, but she's, like, she's got a bit of an edge to her, and she doesn't suffer fools. And I think they would identify uh, that in each other and bond over that. And then I think I don't know if Joy would. I mean, everyone gets along with Waverly. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Waverly's a very hard person not to like. Um, but I think she would bond the most with Winona, probably.
Yeah.
And Zoe, yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to meet Zoe tonight. I'm really Kiana, who plays Zoe, is one of the most salt of the earth, wonderful people I've met. And she is the kindness in that woman is like, I can't say enough good things about her. But she the character of Zoe is really awesome. I'm really excited for you guys to see their relationship develop. And we worked really hard to I had a really great time working. I felt like very much like I could bring things up that I were really important to me, and it did feel collaborative to the extent that it could. And I'm excited. I'm just really excited for people to meet Zoe. And you know, Hallmark is a cute, lovely, um romantic type of place, and it's gonna be fun to see them. I don't want to spoil too much. That's the thing.
Right.
I'm trying to like really talk around this. I'm like, what do I say? That's um they're just really cute.
Yeah.
They're cute, and I'm excited, and I'm proud. And yeah, it's a big really awesome step in the right direction, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Fantastic. And I know there are plenty of goody Earpers, that's not easy to say, who are
Yeah, yeah,
also very excited and are
yeah.
loving your performance on The Good Witch. Well, we are out of
Thank
time, but this has been such a wonderful
oh,
cat
this the
chat.
best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen. You're awesome. I love chatting with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, obviously, same. I think I love chatting with you more because you're you, but I look forward to
Oh,
being able to see you again in
thanks a lot.
person. All right. Well,
Yes, I
thanks
know. Me
everybody.
too. So soon now. You can like smell it. It's on the horizon.
It's so close. Thanks everybody, and stay tuned for more from Earp CurseCon.
Bye, guys.